The Dazzling Dream event is going from Saturday, January 13th at 10 a.m. to Tuesday, January 16th at 8 p.m. And Cutiefly will be making its shiny debut in Pokemon Go. If you like cute shinies, catching regionals, or meta-relevant fairies, then there's something in this event for you. Chapters in the description below for each section of the video. Let's get into the details. For bonuses, there's only 2, and they are 2 times Stardust for catching and hatching Pokemon. Now, Stardust bonuses are always nice because Stardust is very useful in Pokemon Go. You need it to level up Pokemon, add second charge moves, and trade Pokemon. So 3 days of 2 times Stardust is a nice bonus, even if you don't care about the fairies that will be out in the wild. And the wild encounters will be a bunch of fairies, including Clefairy, Jigglypuff, Meryl, Snubbull, Cottony, Red Flower Flabébé, Blue Flower Flabébé, Yellow Flower Flabébé, Spritzee, Swirlix, Dedenne, Cutiefly, and Morelull, with some rarer encounters for Togetic, as well as White Flower and Orange Flower Flabébé. Unfortunately, Niantic did not mention that the Flabébés would remain region locked for this event, and I got excited thinking they would be available worldwide, which is not the case. They will stick to their respective regions, which is Red Flower Flabébé in Europe, the Middle East, and Africa, Blue Flower Flabébé in the Asia Pacific region, and Yellow Flower Flabébé in the Americas, with the rarer White and Orange Flower Flabébés available worldwide. There will be field research for the event, which will reward encounters with Alolan Vulpix, Spritzee, Swirlix, Cutiefly, and rarer encounters for Mawile and Carbink. There will also be field research that will reward Mega Energy for Mega Gardevoir and Mega Altaria as well. We will also get a collection challenge for this event, so collecting and evolving fairies of some variety, and the rewards will include XP, Stardust, and an encounter with Carbink. There will be 7-kilometer event eggs, so those are the eggs that you get from opening up gifts from friends, and in that hatch pool we will see Togepi, Spritzee, Swirlix, and Cutiefly with a higher shiny rate than that of the Cutiefly spawning in the wild. In the store we will see a new Cutiefly mask, which looks pretty wild. So it might be good for those of you who like to go for the more outrageous looking fits. And to those people, I just want you to know, I see you and I love it. There will also be a $2 USD ticket in the store, which will get you 2 star pieces, 2 premium battle passes, Stardust, XP, and encounters with event-themed Pokemon. Personally, I think this ticket is worth the cost if you are someone who spends real money on the game. The 2 premium battle passes and the star pieces are discounted at this price. Plus, you then get the encounters, which have a higher IV floor, so better chances for hundos and shundos, plus that extra XP and Stardust. So all in all, this ticket I think is not a bad deal for this event. All right, let's take a look at the meta relevancy of these fairies. I think Carbink is probably top of the list here just because it's pretty rare and it dominates in Great League, ranking at number 6 overall in the meta according to PvPoke, which means those field research encounters are a good way to either get a good Carbink for Great League if you don't have one already, or to get more candies for the Carbink you already have. Next up we have Togepi and Togetic, which evolve into Togekiss, which is one of my favorite fairy types, and it does a nice job of taking down dragons, spiders, and dark types, ranking as the number 5 fairy type attacker with Charm and Dazzling Gleam. It is the best fairy type raid attacker out during this event, so definitely the one to go for in terms of raiding. In PvP, it ranks best in the Master League at 81, thanks to the dragons that are prevalent there. However, Florges ranks far higher here, and according to PvPoke is the number 1 non-legendary fairy in the Master League meta. So looking at Florges next, it evolves from any of the Flabébés that will be out in the wild, and it is the number 11 fairy type attacker, or number 7 not including megas and shadows. It ranks number 16 in the Master League, which is the highest non-legendary fairy, only being beaten by the legendary Xerneas. It also ranks number 47 in the Ultra League. Often thought to be a fairy and grass type, Florges is actually a pure fairy type, which can take some opponents by surprise. Just cover for steel, as that is common in Master League, and then in Ultra League you also want to watch out for poison types, because even though it has access to psychic, it can't always get off enough charge moves to flip the match, and the pure fairy moveset is generally the recommended one. Next up we have Meryl, which evolves into Azumarill, and Azumarill can be a decent long-term gym defender thanks to its low max CP, though that also means it isn't useful for much in PvP except Great League, where it ranks number 14 overall. Bubble, Ice Beam, and Play Rough add nice coverage to your team with this bulky beast. We also have Cottony, which evolves into Whimsicott. Now Whimsicott is our actual fairy grass typing, but like Azu, its low max CP relegates it to Great League. And again, definitely watch out for poison types here, as it is double weak with that grass and fairy typing. Next up, we have Jigglypuff, which evolves into Wigglytuff. Wigglytuff is a Great League charmer with a double resistance to Ghost. It can put on some fast attack pressure with Charm, and you could also run it in the Ultra League, but mainly it serves as a Giratina destroyer there, which is a common Pokemon in Ultra League, but because it doesn't quite reach 2500 CP, it does struggle to beat out other similar options like A9 or Clefable. Speaking of Clefable, we will have Clefairy in the wild, which does evolve into Clefable and serves a similar purpose to Florges in the Ultra League, but sees one less win against the top meta. It does, however, have access to Meteor Mash, which distinguishes it a bit, and if that coverage would help a specific team you are building, you might want to use Clefable over Florges. But like the rest of the lower stat fairies here, there are better options for the Master League. All right, that's it for the most meta-relevant Mon. Let's get into some tips, starting with the best Mega to use for this event, and that is obviously going to be a Fairy Mega, which gives you the options of Mega Gardevoir, Mega Altaria, Mega Diancie if you have one. Just remember to use whichever one you have at the highest Mega level, as that gives you the most amount of candy and the best chance at getting Candy XL. Let's look at a few Stardust tips now, because this is a boosted Stardust event. If you didn't use up all of your star pieces during Rowlet Community Day, then this would be another good event to make use of them. When you're going out to play, just pop on a star piece or two and enjoy 3 times Stardust for the entire time you have a star piece on. Also watch out for Morelull, which will be spawning during this event. Because it gives boosted Stardust, you'll get 500 Stardust instead of the regular 100, which will be multiplied by 2 or by 3 if you've got a star piece on. So if you see it, definitely catch it. There are actually several Pokemon that will give you boosted Stardust in Pokemon Go when you catch them. A few others that might be out right now are Shroomish and Delibird. I'll put a link in the description below to a list of all the Pokemon that give you boosted Stardust when you catch them. Also, if you've got boosted Stardust Pokemon stacked in your field research encounters and you didn't get to do them all on Rowlet Community Day, then this would be a good event to go through them as well. I've also got an egg hatching tip here that will help you with your pilot medal. So the pilot medal is the one that tracks distance over trades. So if you don't know, when you trade 2 Pokemon that were caught from a far distance apart, that is tracked and it adds to your pilot medal. To get platinum on that medal, you have to get 10 million kilometers. I know that seems like a lot, but with this tip, you can work on it quite effectively and get huge gains. So because these event eggs are 7-kilometer eggs, that means you are getting them from opening gifts from friends. If you get a gift that is from far away, that egg will also be from far away, which means the Pokemon that hatches from it will also be from wherever that gift was from. So say, for example, if you open up a gift from a friend that is 10,000 kilometers away from you, and then you hatch the egg that you get from that gift, you'll now have a Pokemon that is geotagged as being from that location 10,000 kilometers away from you, which you can then trade for a local Pokemon and add 10,000 kilometers to your pilot medal. And not only does this help you work on your pilot medal, but when you trade that Pokemon, you will also get more candies for it, and you'll get a guaranteed Candy XL. Now, if you don't have any friends on your friends list that send you gifts from far away, you can make distance friends by going on sites like Facebook, Discord, and Reddit, and either post your trainer code there and say what area you're looking to make friends from, or look for other trainers who have posted their trainer code who live far away from you, and then tag them in your friends list with something like distance. That way, during these sorts of events, you can go into your friends list, search distance, and open up their gifts easily and get those 7-kilometer eggs that are from very far away. And then, of course, in terms of working on medals, your fairy type medal will also see a big boost from playing this event if you're still working towards platinum on that one. Consider hitting the like button if you found this video useful and subscribing for more Pokemon Go news, tips, and live streams. Happy fairy hunting, and we'll see you in the next one, friends.
I've got something incredibly funky.